Welcome, Chris. Tell me something. First whiskey and why?
So the first whiskey that I can remember drinking was Lefroy on my 21st birthday.
On your 21st birthday, that was your first whiskey?
That was my first whiskey. It was a late developer.
Extremely
in terms
late.
of that. Yes, exactly. And you know, this is going to sound quite a horrible way to start, but I actually drank it with Coke because it was quite late in the evening. But yes, I will take my hand up and admit it was Lefroy and Coke on my 21st birthday. As a proud Scottish person, that was my first whiskey that I recall.
So, single malt brand ambassador at A&E. In 30 seconds, tell me your major responsibilities.
So, the short answer is promoting my whiskies that are distributed by African Eastern, education of bartenders to gain bartender kind of advocacy so that they like my whiskies and want to sell them over the bar. Customer events, so people on the other side of the bar, like for whiskey dinners or other sorts of kind of tasting events. Also just being the expert on hand, if you like, for any questions that come up internally or externally about single malt whiskey.
Okay, so I like to ask this question of all the brand ambassadors, whiskey professionals that I meet, and it's about NAS whiskeys, right? And I always seem to get what I think is a PR scripted answer, right? Which is, hey, who cares about 8 statements? We've unshackled our master distiller. Now he has full, complete freedom and creative freedom to do whatever it is he wants to do. And even though there is a ring of truth to it, I still think it's a scripted response. And myself as a whiskey enthusiast, I have a very strong opinion on NAS whiskey. Some of it good, most of it not so good. I want to know what you feel about that.
Non-age statement questions, the question that is always excited and enthused and frustrated anyone in the whiskey blogosphere. So I think for me is that obviously I'm well versed in sort of marketing speak. It's a large part of what I do, and it is I suppose put it another way, like I've worked in independent whiskey retail for most of my life, and so I do understand a certain amount of resistance to, again, something that's overly polished or overly kind of spun. But the fact of the matter is that I'm no purist when it comes to whiskey whatsoever. So I really do still firmly believe in that if it's good, I really don't care how they design the labeling. You have so much choice out there that really you can exercise your right as a consumer as well to not drink a non-age statement whiskey. There's plenty of other age statement whiskies still out there and still there to be enjoyed. But personally, as a drinker as well as professionally, I don't have any problem at all with non-age statement whiskies.
Whiskey, especially single malt, in cocktails. Good, bad, ugly. What's the deal?
It's very, very good. After I got through my purist stage, it was something that I very much kind of got behind because I want people to enjoy whiskey. I want more people if possible to enjoy whiskey. And now, my thought about whiskey cocktails is a bit like how, yes, you wouldn't trust someone on his first day in the job to make a fine single malt cocktail. But if you think of a good quality chef, you give them the finest ingredients kind of that you have around. You would let them play with the Wagyu beef, you would let them play with the caviar to come up with something amazing. So if you have a good quality bartender, you have a very good recipe, there's no reason why you can't come up with something fantastic. And yes, as I said, ultimately, more people get to experience whiskey and they find another way to enjoy it. And whiskey is drunk in so many different ways around the world, then, if you have some people that will drink it with
regardless of how you think about it, if you get people who drink their whiskey with Coke, with ginger ale, then what's wrong with adding a couple of extra things to just taking it to the next level?
So I'm going to leave this one as broad as possible, right? Whiskey in the Middle East. What's the outlook?
So yes, I mean, look, we have the big kind of nightclub culture here. So there's vodka still, I suppose, the principal category, but we have a strong international community. A lot of whiskey drinking nations going to make their home here. So blended whiskey is still quite strong. Now talking about single malt, the signs are extremely encouraging. We're seeing sales of single malt are still doing very well. We're seeing people who are already kind of engaged with whiskey and being at least open to the kind of the newer direction around about cocktails that we've been trying to kind of forward here and kind of trying to promote. We now get to see the benefit of the Middle East as a whole, but specifically the UAE, which I can only speak with some degree of authority.
Sure.
Is that we have a new drinking culture. Like a lot of newer people who are interested in alcohol.
Right.
What we're finding is it's also much easier to speak to them directly and open their minds to the possibility of trying single malt in a new way. So we have a lot of new people that have only really been drinking, for example, whiskies and the like, maybe only for the past couple of years. So again, if you speak to them in the right way and present it in the right fashion, then they will take that chance. And I can only see that trend going upwards.
So what can we look forward to with Glenfiddich in the coming few weeks?
So we have a lot of different activities, but the main thing is going to be on the 29th of this month, March, and Siddhartha Lounge in Grosvenor House. So it's part of our on-running Glenfiddich Experiments, or GF Experiments series, to go with our local sensibilities. It is a collaboration between a variety of different artists and their interpretation of what Glenfiddich means to them and the brand story through their chosen medium. It'll be quite an entertaining evening, something a little bit unusual for single malts, especially here in this part of the world.
So you can be completely honest when I ask you this. Bloggers like myself, asset or a pain in the ass?
So I'm just going to finish pocketing this check you gave me. No, honestly, the more people writing and talking about whiskey with an informed perspective is it's only for the better. You know, the more people that get a chance to kind of come across it and maybe learn a little bit more on their own time. I think as long as any blogger is always clear that their opinion is their own opinion, and happy to have a debate around it. I think that's it's absolutely fantastic. You know, whiskey is a very subjective thing. And ideally the best way to make your mind up is to try all these whiskies yourself, but practically speaking that's not always very easy to do. So in the meantime you need to kind of rely on people that have some experience and can qualify their opinions. So no, absolutely, I'm in favour of thoughtful blogging.